Welcome back, ladies and gents. It's a bit of a strange one this week, mourning the death of football as we know it, as well as going through the games as we usually do. So, we did put a bit of a poll out on our Twitter and Instagram this week and just put the feelers out what people want to hear from us really this week, if they want us to just crack on as normal and not talk too much about European Super League, because it's been a lot in the press and on every podcast and channel going. But the audience have spoken, lads, and they do want us to go over it. But we'll leave that till last, because I fear that we might get a bit waylaid if we start off with that and we just end up going on for fucking 6 months without ever getting through to the games. So we will start with the games from the weekend, boys. But based on the whole ESL, I will not be addressing the 6 clubs by their names. It's just not happening. So the first game we're going to go through is for you, Dave, and it's North London versus Fulham. 1-1, a 1-1 draw, mate. What was your thoughts?
Well, obviously my reactions at the time are kind of they've changed in my mind from obviously the events of the last day or so. So I'll speak how I felt at the time. At the time, we needed 3 points. Fulham needed 3 points, and a draw doesn't help either team, to be honest. Both teams sort of trudged off as if it was a bit useless, a useless point for each team. But I felt that we weren't at our best by any means, but we were the better team. Fulham were their usual, typical, hard to beat self. But I didn't think they played very well, to be honest. We were the better side. We scored a goal that was rightfully offside. Scored another one, which was another one of them width of a hair offsides. I think you could say he's probably, if you're just off, but still, it's just frustrating when they draw the lines. They draw that line, and you think, what's he lining that up with? The defender's foot or the arm?
Oh, no.
Yeah, but as soon as they go, right, that's where the defender's line is. The line that comes through is about 6 inches thick. And then they're trying to pick, then the second line comes through, trying to pick out where Saka's toe is. You can't even see where it is in that thick yellow line. And then they go, you just think you made your mind up there. And the thing is, it's not like Saka is the one who puts the ball in the net. There's a fair little bit of play that continues after. This is exactly what we've been talking about. That's the sort of thing that should just be waved on. It's not really effective. He was even moving backwards away from the goal. It was bollocks.
It's like we've said, isn't it? Like it was all brought in to rectify clear and obvious errors.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That one took so long to pick it out. It should have. We were the better side. We deserved to be in front at that point, and it would have just led to a nice, easy 3 points. Really, the way the game was going, but Fulham got away with it, and then we come out in the second half, and pretty much the first time Fulham went forward, they got a penalty, and again it was the thing that led to it was again Gabriel had a bit of done one of those tackles where you just knew if you tackle this guy, the ball's going to sit lovely for the next guy. So you should adjust how you're going in for that tackle, or just not do what he did, because the way he tackled him, he left it beautifully for Lamina to run onto it. Gabriel's then compounded a bit of a half mistake by then swinging at him, giving him a chance to go over. I mean, initially, I was quite confident. It looked totally like a dive, and I was like, yep, get VAR out. Let's have a look at this one. And I'm like, yeah, he's decided he's going to dive before the foot's even come in. And then even after he's in the air, one of them little flicks, just to finish it off. I'm thinking, yeah, overturn this. But then obviously they zoom in, and there's the tiniest touch on his toe, but that would not bring him down. And he'd made his mind up that he was going to dive. And I've seen ones like that overturned from where the player's looking for it. So again, it's not a penalty in my opinion. Gabriel again.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It's just naive, though, isn't it, Dave? It's naive, Gabriel.
Gabriel, he gave him a chance there. So and the players, you know what I mean? Fulham, they're fighting for their lives. They don't hold it against the player. He's gonna go for that. Cool. But I felt like VAR should have seen that he was looking for it and not given it. But then
I'll tell you what, it's a nervy pen as well, isn't it? He's got
but
under
even
that.
before that,
His arsehole's gone, I'm telling you.
They bring it back to see if it was actually offside. And you're looking at it thinking, is that offside? Because just as marginal as the one before. I mean, I would say, yeah, onside, play on. But when you're being that tight with disallowing our goal, I was hoping for the same. And when the problem is they draw the line and think, okay, they're working everything off the lines, but they're forgetting about when the ball's released. Because when you look on the replay of the ball's not clearly left his foot, and they move it one frame forward, one frame back. Oh, that'll do. Let's draw the line. When actually, it could have easily been another frame onwards with the ball not actually leaving contact of his foot. And then he could have been offside. But either way, I think yeah, that should have been onside, because I hate them tight calls, and Saka's goal should have been onside. But anyway, then it set it up for us just pushing. Like you said, yeah, Majo was fucking thanking God that ball didn't fly over the bar the other week.
It was close enough.
Yeah. But yeah, then we was pushing again, not creating bucket loads of chances, but enough to win the game or get back into the game. Don't know how Pepe didn't put that header in, the greatest really from Areola. And then at the end, I felt when it was deserved to nick it. I think we should have. We deserved at least a draw, probably the 3 points. So yeah, a bit gutting, but obviously we'll go into the conversation we're going to have a bit later. But now I'm thinking, like, does it even matter?
Of course. Well, look, that's the thing. Like, we are going to sort of fly through these match breakdowns as such, because there's a wider argument with, like you said, does it even matter? So yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? At the moment, we sort of don't know. It's a bit up in the air, but yeah, I know where you're coming from with that, mate. Like I said, we'll scoot through these. So we'll move on quickly over to Kyle's boys. I never call them by their real name anyway.
You're not just called a scum still. Just call a scum.
I was going to call you scum, but I'm going to go down the whole Pro Evo route like I have with Dave's boys. So Man Red 3, Burnley 1. So yeah, our scummer. What's your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, no, it was a good win. I thought it was quite a comfy game, actually. Again, I thought we controlled it from start to finish. Really, I had a few little moments. Well, I say start to finish, excluding the first 14 seconds when Hendo's came running out and let your old boy just have a little nod. I mean, yeah. I mean, when he was offside, I thought, thank fuck for that. I mean, yeah. He's had a mess. He actually had pretty worst game in a United shirt for me, Hendo, on Sunday. He was just a fucking mess. But
he had that one in the second half as well, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He come rushing out in the second half. But it wasn't even just that. Like there was a few little bits, and then he's got his little hat on the second half that he's nicked from Lost Property or something. Like fucking, like it just weren't his best game at all. But I thought, just everyone else, I thought the game was quite comfy. I mean, obviously, Woods up front was a handful, like he always is. But I felt we dealt with him all right. And just, it was quite a comfy game. And I'd say Greenwood's, he's turned a corner for me massively now. He's been doing it slowly but surely for a little while.
Surely?
But it's not. So, yeah. But it's nice that, he's picking up a few goals here and there now, which I think he ain't fully back yet from where the standards he sort of set last year. But he's getting there, and I'm happy for him. Absolutely buzzing for the boy. But yeah, no, nice little 3-1. That's it. It can be a bit of a banana skin, old Burnley, really. I hope he don't beat them since 2015 at Old Trafford.
Jesus Christ, really?
Wow.
Yeah, it's the first time we beat them since 2015 or something like that. When I said, I thought, fucking hell. Yeah, I mean, the last team that won, you had Phil Jones in the team. Rojo! You had it was just mad, the team that beat them.
Thing is, I hate the rat bastard, but you got to salute his step over there for the goal, mate.
The great dummy, isn't it?
Unreal.
I was actually saying that I don't think of things like that. I'm hitting that left foot. I'm just swinging a left foot at that.
That's why you're not playing in the Premier League, bro.
Yeah, I don't trust that that's going to roll to him. But yeah, and he just who's his class, the boy? Yeah, unbelievable. But yeah, good performance, good win.
It's one of them, isn't it? That should class as an assist, really. Like it doesn't, but
Yeah, no.
Although he's not touched it, he's the last person to affect that ball that's that play before the goal. But happy with the win. Gives us a bit more breathing space now.
You happy that Maguire got bullied as well, or
what's that?
You happy that Maguire got bullied?
No, I'm not, little pussy hole. But it doesn't matter. We won the game 3-1. But I mean, if it had been 1-1, I'd have told you all vote that man for donkey because he's got to be bigger and stronger there. But when you win, it doesn't matter, does it? So, but yeah, you're right. Poor defending, terrible. And he was looking for a foul, I think, as well.
His first thing turned to the ref, and he was like,
lad on the floor, thinking, "Please VAR, help me out here."
That's an £80 million defender, by the way.
But it's not, is he? He is on paper, but he ain't. Let's be fair. We all know that. Of course
he's not. No, he's not a fucking £8 million defender. Well, yeah, that routine win for you, mate. So that brings that one to a close, and then we move on to last night's game. The mighty Leeds, non-ESL superstars, won. Merseyside red fucking greedy cop-out bastards won. Greg, I'll start with you, mate. Obviously, in the build-up to the game, like the day before, it's come out about the Super League. So it was a different sort of feel going into the game. And for me, even during the game, it felt a bit different. It felt a bit strange. But I'll start with you. How do you think the game went as a whole, barring like the whole off the field stuff? How do you think the game went, and what was your thoughts?
Yeah, I think the game itself was actually all right for us in the first half. I thought we really came out the blocks, and I thought our movement was very good, and you weren't dealing with us in the first half, I thought, and then our wingers were coming in, which meant that because you follow man for man, your left and right back were coming in, and it was just leaving gaps. And because they do that, it lets your wingers have to track back man for man. And you know what wingers are like; they don't want to do it, and it was creating gaps, mate. And obviously Harrison got caught out for the goal. Trent's made a fucking great run. It was a great ball as well. And yeah, easy finish from Mane. And he didn't look fucking happy at scoring it. He ain't scored for a while, and he still looked pissed off. That do you know what I mean? He's just not. Don't know what it is with Mane at the minute. He's just not happy. He's not on form.
He don't look like he wants to be there for me.
He doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
He hasn't come out and said anything. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them. It's like we know you're off form and that, but I mean, something's got to happen with him. To be honest, he's got to turn a corner. Like. He's got to start smiling. Yeah, just a smile, mate. Like, do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, all this shit's going on. It's not going to help that we got players. You know, we're still waiting on Ginny to see what he's doing, tying him up or whatever. It's a time to stick together, mate. Not fucking let's all be going off and doing our own thing. It's hard because, as a game, the first half for us I thought was brilliant. I really, again, not finishing our chances, really. Jota's had a couple of headers, you know what I mean? Like, but then second half, you've got to give credit to you lot. You lot came out, mate, and at the end of the day, we could have been 3 or 4-1 down.
Oh.
See that, Dave?
We've lost Dave, ladies and gents, for the audio listeners. He should be joining back in.
Do your Arsenal bit, then fuck off, eh?
Yeah.
Second half, like it was a game of two halves, to be perfectly honest, mate. You lot came out, and really and truly, it looked like we kind of ran out of legs, and you obviously being fit as fuck as a team, like it looked like towards the end you did take over, and you had chances to win the game, and you probably should have been 3, possibly 4 goals up, like
yeah.
And this is without your star man. So again, I mean, I think we've been lucky to come away with a point, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, on the first half performance, I would have said that all the shit going on didn't really affect. But then come the second half, obviously you got on top of that, and it was just it was a poor second half, to be honest. I'm surprised obviously you missed your chances, but I was really surprised as well. Again, just the teams that can't hold out anymore.
Yeah.
You're thinking 87th minute, just fucking stand up and be strong and get the ball away. But yet again, we're 6-yard box. I think he scored a header in the 6-yard box. I mean, we're zonal marking. We've got a line across there. So you got defenders, midfielders, whoever. Someone's job is to fucking attack the ball. I didn't see anyone attacking it. All I saw was standing still and wait for it to come. And then your men are attacking it. They score. Alisson chose not to come, obviously, and got punished, mate. But again, I can't moan at Alisson because he kept us in the game.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, 100%.
Along with your poor finishing, to be honest. Like, Robert should have fucking scored. But, yeah, I mean...
Alisson should have scored.
From my side, obviously, I'll let you have your say as well, because obviously you got your opinion on them chances and that. But, yeah, good first half, not so good second half. Lucky to come away with a point, to be honest.
Yeah. Again, mate, I pretty much agree with that. It's a bit of a strange one where I actually think our boys were affected more by the off the field goings on than your lot.
Yeah.
I think your lot sort of had a bit of a point to prove because it seems that they haven't been consulted and that by the ownership and the leaders of the club as such. So I think they sort of had a bit of a bee in their bonnet. I think us leaving the shirts in your changing room probably helped give your boys a bit of a kick up the arse as well, because they took it as a personal insult. But to be honest, it is as much as like it's nothing to do with the players and the management and that. You representing that club, so you're going to get it. Sorry.
Unfortunately, it doesn't matter with what's going on. The whole thing is the players and the manager hasn't really got a say, but at the end of the day, you play for the club that are doing that. So your like everyone's digs and everything are going to be aimed at the club.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they play for the club. They shouldn't take it personally because obviously they're not. You know, well, I'd hope not, but I'd hope that they don't want to join it, and I'd hope that they don't want to represent Liverpool in it or United's players. But yeah, the digs are always going to be aimed now at the clubs, and unfortunately, they're just going to have to take it.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll come on to that. But like back to the game, like I think first half, to be honest, like watching it from like a fan's point of view, it was weird. It didn't feel like a game of football. It was almost like the game was secondary, and it felt like our players didn't really show up. And you were by far the better side in the first half. And I think Bielsa's probably had serious words with him at half time. Like, don't fucking let this get in the way of how you should be performing and how you have performed in recent weeks. And we came out and we was the team that we should be. Do you know what I mean? And like, we've completely dominated it second half, to be fair. Like you said, like you've had a steal coming away with a point. We should have easily got at least 2 or 3 goals in that game. And that's being generous. Like some of the chances that were missed, like the Roberts one, he's just decided to put his foot through it because he's panicked and he ain't had a goal under his belt for a while.
Yeah, I thought it was harder to miss. I thought like he's
just got to put that to the side of him, just stroke it down the corner, mate. But again, it's just one of them things. Like we're missing Rafinha and a few different things, but again, some great performances from some of the boys. Meslier again was brilliant. Llorente is an absolute superstar. I love the guy. Andy Hinchcliffe on Sky is giving him jip left, right, and centre. Is it? I don't know if it's just me, but is he watching the same fucking game? I think the guy's defended brilliantly well.
Why is he commentating?
Just fuck off, bro. Do you know what I mean? You're like you were shit commentator in the football league. How all of a sudden is he like? I thought when we got promoted, we'd leave cunts like him and Don Goodman back in the football league. They followed us. All of a sudden, they're commentating on every fucking Leeds game. It's like, why is this prick still here? Like, jog on, mate. Get in the bin. What is wrong with you? But like Diego Llorente, he's he's what I love in a centre half. Like we had it with Pontus Jansson, who isn't up to this level, but he's a maverick centre half, and that's what Llorente is. Like he's got a mental run in him every now and again. He's got a Cruyff turn in him. He likes a worldy ball, and I just love everything about the guy. And I was so pleased for him to get the goal, and like he dedicated it to his granddad who passed away. I thought it was a nice touch, but I love the guy. And again, Phillips was immense, and there were some good performances in there. But yeah, in general, it's just I'm looking at it as points dropped. To be fair, like we could be going into, like we looked at this period of 3 games where we had Man Blue, Merseyside Red, and Man Red, and we was going into them games. And I remember speaking to a few mates, and I said, look, realistically, like allegiances aside, 3 points out of the 3 games, I'm taking that. We should have come out of the first 2 with 6.
6, yeah.
We really should have. And then all of a sudden, you are looking at them, that top 6, and going, this is touching distance. Like it really is. Like we're not far off. So it could have been. I'm looking at it as points dropped, but it's mental to think that we've just beat the champions elect and drawn with the current champions, and we're looking.
I was surprised with Bamford, mate. To be honest, I think he had 2 seriously good opportunities. One in the first half, and I think he just overrun it. I don't know why he didn't hit that in the first half.
He shouldn't have took a touch, and his first touch was bad, and it.
And then the second one in the second half when he hit the bar, he's gone with his laces like with a flat foot. I think if he turns his foot and goes side foot there, he's taking all the power off, and he's just doing that.
He's unlucky though. That was unlucky.
No, he is unlucky, but I just think you would have minimised the risk of hitting the bar if you'd gone instep. I think he's, by going with the laces, you've put that little bit too much power.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you there, 100%.
But yeah, you come away with a win. You should have come away with a win, to be honest.
Yeah, and yeah, I do agree. But yeah, it's just one of them points drop. But
with Rafinha there, Rafinha, if you had Rafinha, a bit more quality there, I think you're tearing them a new one last night. I reckon. Yeah. Like, you take Roberts out for like Rafinha or someone or whatever.
It'd be Costa, because Costa played shit. To be
honest. He didn't play well.
I thought Poveda made a massive difference when he came on, though. Jan Poveda is only a young kid, and to be honest, he's shown glimpses of ability, and he's not really played a lot of football for us, but like, he shows glimpses where you think, oh, he's got a bit.
How's his resume?
What's that?
How's his resume getting on?
Yeah.
I know. I couldn't believe he's been at. I was like, I thought
Barcelona, Man City.
Yeah, it's mental, mate. But like when he came on, I think it's the first time he's really changed the game for us. Like he looked to have that killer ball. He had Robertson on toast at times. Like he had him turning in and out, and it was impressive. I was really, really happy with Jan. I thought he played well, mate. But
good game for the neutral. I say as a neutral, I quite enjoyed the game. To be fair, it was, I was saying to Greg earlier, I think that you're a very exciting team to watch. Like just the whole everything you do, the way you play ball, the way you chase, everything. It was an entertaining. I enjoyed it. Fell asleep a little bit first half. I had a little 20-minute cat nap, but yeah.
Apart
from that, I thought it was all right.
We have got a very sort of fan-friendly style, haven't we? It's I don't think anyone doesn't enjoy watching Leeds play under Bielsa. It's
work rate. It's something as simple as that, though. Like fans like to see people working. Like every fan can see how much the players work for the team, or for the club. They're working.
Well, it shows how much they run and how fit they are to run a team like Liverpool into the ground. They're a fit fucking group of lads, and they were like they were running into the ground in the second half. They were like stuck in the mud. Half their players, they were blowing. Like, and for a team to do,
I hope you're tired on Sunday.
What, our boys?
I hope your boys are knackered for Sunday.
We won't be, mate. We don't get tired.
No.
But yeah, that brings that one to an end as well, lads. So we can we'll move through these quite quickly as well. We'll go through our baller and donkey of the week nominations, and then we'll head into our predictions for this weekend's games. Before we talk about the whole ESL thing. Yeah. So the first thing is this weekend's games that have gone by. So me and Kyle only came out with 2 points. We only got one of the games correct. No scores correct. You three, so Boyle, Greg, and Dave, all got an exact score as well as a correct result. So you all come out with 7 points. So the table is now 5th place, not saying bottom, 5th is myself on 36 points. 4th is Kyle on 39 points. Then we've got Dave in 3rd on 42 points. 1 second.
Dave's gone from bottom to third in
Up to 3rd, mate. Boyle on 45 points, and Greg is 1st with 54 points. Absolutely smashing it, Gory. So we'll now go through our baller of the week and our donkey of the week. So first things first, I'm going to go with you, Greg. We're going to go for baller of the week. Who's your nomination?
Well, there's a couple, but I think it's Joel Linton. What a goal. He's turning the corner. He seems to be getting a goal every week now.
Since we give him stick, yeah.
Yeah, Joel from Linton.
Joel Linton. I might as well go straight in with mine then, because it's Joe Linton as well. The boy's prolific, mate. How can you not predict? How can you not?
He's a shit.
He's prolific. Scores every week, mate. So
six goals in 80 games now, is it?
Yeah, prolific. Yeah,
2 and 2, mate. 2 and 2. 100% record. So yeah, the mighty Joe Linton for me. Jonesy, same.
Greenwood, fuck all this Joel Linton shit. It should be you because of the T's and C's. I can't vote for you.
Yeah, you can't.
So no, I can't. I know. I just want to put it out there. So I'm going to have to go Gylfi Sigurdsson. It was an hard one for me this week, Paul. I'm just going to go Gylfi just because he stopped Tottenham from winning, and it sort of was the final nail in the coffin for Super Jose. So yeah, well done, Gylf.
The Gylf.
And he's J Tabs. He's a good mate of J Tab. He was J Tabs, but there we go. Old tripod. So there we go. I'll go with that. Many reasons.
DS.
Yeah, I thought about Sigurdsson. I also thought about Willock with a couple of last-minute goals in recent weeks, but that might come.
Oh, Willock,
your own player. He's on loan. So Greenwood, 2 goals, got the 3 points.
Cheers, Dave.
Red.
Greenwood. Well, so, as we are without Matty Boyle tonight, so he's not here to put his nominations across. The winner of Baller of the Week is Joe Linton, mate.
No, you've got. I thought you was going to say
I'm leaving.
I'm leaving.
Oh God, Joe Linton, you fucking hero! There he is. It's the first thing he's ever won. He's buzzing. I reckon if we got in touch with him, he'd actually accept that. He'd be all over that. He'd probably come on. But yeah, we move on to our donkey nominations, lads. Greg, I'll start with you again, mate.
Easy, very easy. Flappy Ansky.
Is that for letting Joe Linton score, or
just it's comical, that one, isn't it? Can't do that. He's under no pressure, literally. Like, no one's even jumped with him. He's just literally dropped it. And Joe Linton, the prolific striker that he is, in the right place at the right time, slotted it in.
That's it. He's unstoppable, mate. It's one of them. Dave, who's yours?
Fabianski, same.
Fabianski. Jonesy.
Yeah, Fabianski, because he's fucking gifted a goal to Joe Linton, which has made him fucking baller of the week. Joke.
Oh God. Yeah, mine's the same anyway, lads. I was going to go a bit different there just to throw a spanner in the works, but yeah, he's had a stinker there. It's the wrong time of the season for him to do that as well for the Hammers. So yeah, donkey of the week is Lucas Flappy Hansky. And Joe Linton gets the baller. So yeah, now we'll go in with our predictions, boys, for the upcoming games this weekend. So the first game is North London versus Everton. So Dave, I will start with you, mate.
Well, we're so inconsistent. We seem to win, lose, draw, win, lose, draw. So we're probably due a loss right now, but I don't want to say it. So I'll go. Yeah, I'd like to think we'd win, but I think it's going to be a similar game to Tottenham and Everton, 2-2. Desmond.
One with his weekly Desmond. Jonesy.
Oh,
Jonesy, are you there or just ignoring me? I don't know if he's frozen or if he's
he
just
stalled, didn't he? Like
playing
just,
silly buggers. Greg, we'll go to you then, mate, while Kyle looks at the wall.
2-1 Everton.
2-1 Everton. Right, I am going to go. This is a toughie because oh, we've lost Kyle. I want to go against all of the ESL lot, but I don't know if that's sensible because I need the points. I'm going to go 1-1. I'm going to go 1-1 with that one. We will wait for Kyle to hopefully rejoin us. I don't know if he's internet's gone up the wall or what, but hopefully he rejoins and we can take his predictions in a sec. But in the meantime, we'll move on to the next one, boys, which is Merseyside Red versus Newcastle.
Who?
Joe Linton's Newcastle. So, Gory, we'll start with you, mate. What he's going to do?
Obviously, he's going to have a worldie. It's that win for them against West Ham is massive.
They're safe now, aren't they? Really?
Yeah, I would say so, but
it's hard to know how all this stuff that's going on is going to affect the teams involved as well.
True.
Yeah, I know.
You don't know what performance is going to come out like.
They're talking about taking the flags and that away from the cop and everything.
Yeah, some of them have already done it, haven't they?
Yeah, but I'll go with 2-0 Liverpool.
2-0 Liverpool.
Merseyside Red.
DS.
Yeah, unless something like unbelievable happens in terms of developments, which completely ruins their psyche, just taking it on normal sort of terms, I reckon 2-1 Liverpool.
2-1 Liverpool. That's actually what I was going to go for, but like I said, I do need the points. I'm going to go 3-1 to Merseyside Red. Joe Linton obviously getting the one. And then the big one, this is probably why Kyle's left, I think, because we're coming up to this game. The mighty Leeds United versus Man Red, the scum. I'm gonna start with my prediction, and I'm gonna sort of hark back to a game that always lives long in my memory as a kid when I went up to Ellen Road on Christmas Eve, would you believe it, to watch Leeds United versus the scum. Oh, Kyle's back. Let me just bring him back in before I tell this story for him. Where is he? He's coming. He's back. So, so we're just about to do our predictions on the Leeds versus Scum game, Kyle. But
sorry,
I'm going
Virgin are getting it.
I'm going to go with mine first. And I said to the boys, it takes me back to going up to Ellen Road as a kid on Christmas Eve. We were playing Manchester United, the scum. And we beat you 3-1 on that day. And it always lived long in my memory. It was an absolute blinder. And I saw my hero, Tony Yeboah, score as well, which always made me happy. So, 3-1. We beat the scum 3-1. I'm going to go with that. Kyle, I'll go with yours and then I'll come back to you for the other results.
Okay. Right, I reckon United,
What, Leeds United?
Man United 4, Yorkshire Whites 2.
Behave yourself. Stupid prick. Greg.
This game is hard to call because I don't rate United. I really don't. Even though they've had a good season, they're second or wherever they are. I don't look. But
I don't know how they're there.
And every time I sort of think that they're shit and they shouldn't be winning games, they do. But and then flipping it on you lot have been decent. And as you say, like out of these 3 games, you've picked out 4 points already when you could have easily had none if you looked at it sort of, do you know what I mean? And going into this game, you lot have got is Rafinha back, do you know? Or
don't know yet, but probably. Chances are high. They reckon he could have actually played last night, but I think he's just being rested till he's 100%.
Yeah. Do you know what? I don't go for many, but I'm going to do a Desmond.
Ooh. Desi.
No, they've got to take an L out of one of these 3 games. They can't fucking get points from all of them.
Dave.
I reckon 1-1.
1-1.
1-1. Similar to the Liverpool game. I reckon Man United will have the first half and then you'll have the second half.
Fair play, mate. Jonesy, I just want to run quickly through with you. So your scores for Arsenal-Everton?
2-1 Everton.
And Liverpool-Newcastle?
4-3 Liverpool.
Another throwback scoreline there.
Joel
hat-trick. then I'll vote for him next week. If he does that, I'll vote for him.
Mate, we've got to have money on that, haven't we? Surely.
No.
Well, imagine the odds. Fucking hell.
I think that's safe now. They go back to being shit again now, I reckon. Newcastle.
Probably.
Money, then bet on him.
So, boys, we've gone through what we wanted to go through. So now we can sort of move on to the news, which is
Jose Mourinho getting sacked, or
well, it says it all that isn't even going to be spoken about really in this pod. It's like it's quite like. But before I come to you boys, because you all support clubs that are involved in it, so I don't. And personally, I've had so many different opinions since the news come out to sort of where I am now. I've gone up and down with it. I've had this fault, that fault. I've gone from sort of being like angry with these clubs and the people in charge of them to quite happy about it and looking at it selfishly thinking, well, my club could be fucking laughing here. Do you know what I mean? Like potentially if these 6 are booted out, which could possibly happen, my team's in the Champions League. So do you know what I mean? It's a weird sort of dynamic from that point of view. But
sorry, I don't know if you've seen the developments. Chelsea and City are now saying they don't want part of it.
I've heard this, and we will touch on that as well. But because I don't know where that they will sit with that, being that they've signed a contract, they've signed a 23-year deal. I don't know what their period is with that, whether they can pull out or they have to pay money towards getting out of it or what. I don't know where they stand, but. It's everything's been spoken about with it, but I'm sort of trying to look at it now from your guys' point of view because I've gone to the stage now where I just feel sorry for the fans of these clubs because you could be looking at losing your club. Really, they've already spoken about legacy fans. What the fuck is that? So fans then. What's all this legacy fans? They're basically saying that they're more interested in the new market of fans that they could possibly open the door to than the fans that have followed these clubs for 100 years. It absolutely just doesn't sit well with myself or anybody really. And look, supporting my club, I've gone through so many ups and downs. It's said in the song, Marching On Together, we've had our ups and downs. And this club, I've cried my eyes out when we got relegated from the Premier League. I cried my eyes out when we got relegated from the Championship. I cried my eyes out when we got promoted from the Championship last season into the Premier League. That sort of array of emotions would all be gone. If you're part of this Super League, where's your emotion going to be? Oh, well, we lost. Oh, well, it's always next year. You're not going down. You're not going to suffer in any way. It's just you get another roll of the dice the following year. It's so ridiculous. I can't even begin to imagine like what is going through your boys' heads, being that your clubs are involved. Because from my point of view, it doesn't really affect me. I hope the league clamp down on it and kick all fucking 6 of the clubs out, whether that's temporarily, whether they get a year's ban, whether they get fucking 30 points deducted, whether they ban them from European competition, whatever they do, something needs to happen. Even if Chelsea and Man City now decide, oh, I don't really want to be in this anymore because people are angry at us, you need to be punished for going behind the whole fucking nation's back, your owner, your manager's back, your players' back, your fans' backs, and deciding to go and join this fucking stupid league. You need to be punished for it. Clubs have been punished for having financial problems that is sort of not really their fault. They get 10, 15, 20 point deductions. They get that for spending too much money. Why? For going ahead with trying to fucking ruin English football, really, is there not going to be a hefty punishment? There has to be. Just that's my opinion. But I'll go to you, Greg, and then we'll move on to the other boys. But yeah, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's just greed. It's embarrassment from our side. Like, I don't think I could say that there's one fan that wants this, and obviously it's all been done behind everyone's back. Even Klopp. I feel so sorry for the manager, the players, the fans, the fact that all this is just happening, and it's just one man's decision, and all it is it's a decision to line his pocket, along with five other people that just want to line their own pockets and not worry about any fucker. And it's embarrassing to. I mean, I love Liverpool, but how can you go forward doing that? Like, it's not the same. It's never going to be the same if you're not in that Premier League. Okay. I know there wasn't a Premier League before. There was a Division 1, and then there was a break up, and then the Premier League got made. And yes, it's done well for everyone. But to go and do this,
football was never taken away.
No. This is what I'm saying. All that was when the Premier League was made. The fact that it just made the best of the best, and there was more money for the best teams.
Yeah. And
the whole thing of people below could still chase that dream and get in there. And look at the stories that have happened along the way. Leicester. Other teams coming up, winning.
Man City.
Not winning the league though, but like other teams that have come along the way and even won cup competitions. Your Portsmouths, do you know what I mean? Like your Cardiffs getting to the final. It happens. These teams can do it, whether they're the richest in England or not. They can come up and create a fairy tale. It's not, it doesn't not happen. It does happen. But these are they're trying to ruin what has ever been built in this country with football, with fans, with alliances. Like, we've got a rivalry with Everton, yeah? Because we're the same city club. But when, in our darkest hour, we stood together. And now, how are you ever going to stand together as a club? And you know what I mean? They're just taking away everything. Everything. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that our owner is doing that.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible, mate. Like, because yes, I support a club that they're doing it, but the fans, the players, the manager, they've got no control over it. You can't tell me any of them players want this. And
No.
the way that Jurgen Klopp come out yesterday, 2019, said he didn't want it. Same thing yesterday, says he didn't want it. Okay, he kind of couldn't say too much yesterday, because if he says too much, he could lose his job. Does he really want to lose his job?
But
no.
I know where you're coming from there, but for me, if excuse me, if I'm Jurgen Klopp, I make the players wear them shirts, and I come out and I say this is a fucking joke. They've gone. Why would you want a job for? And the fans would stick with him. Why would you want a job where the owner's going behind your back and making these decisions without consulting you? If I'm Jurgen Klopp, I'd have made the players wear them, and I'd have picked a fucking set of 15-year-olds yesterday to send a protest out.
If we lose Jurgen Klopp because of this, I mean, I kind of said from the outset, I would happily boycott. I would still love Liverpool from Liverpool from before.
Yeah, of course.
From Liverpool from now on, I don't know. I really don't know, because that ain't the Liverpool I grew up loving.
Yeah.
And, you know, going forward, playing the same teams week in, week out, it's boring.
It is.
Like,
yeah.
We live for the Champions League. If you make it there, if you earn it, to play against these teams, and you play against your minnows, so what? But you still have to beat them. You still get your throw-up results in the Champions League from other teams doing that to you. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and what makes them big ties special is that you've earned the right to play in them.
There you go. You'd never have. One of our biggest results ever was last year. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we were 3-1 down against Barcelona, and then we come. Do you know what I mean? Like, you smashed them at Anfield. Like, them nights just won't happen anymore. Them atmospheres just will not happen anymore. The Kop will never be the Kop again. Like, it just can't happen. It can't happen. I fucking hope to God it don't. It would ruin football.
Well, for you. Dave, go on, mate. What's your thoughts from the North London side of things?
Like Greg said, it's just total embarrassment, shame, and the worst thing is, it's not really the club itself, it's the owners and the people right at the top pulling the strings, because they've kept the managers, not just the players and the managers, but high-level board people have been totally in the dark on this. And it just shows you how conniving they've been to hide it, and then just drop it in there that is happening. Because, like I alluded to earlier when we talked about the games, just on what it would mean for the competitiveness, that game where we need to Fulham, and first, so they don't get relegated and could be going for European spots, that wouldn't exist. That would be a meaningless game, because they don't believe in relegation. They don't believe in competition. They just believe in securing their place at the top. Like Man United spent hundreds of millions. Man United have spent hundreds of millions trying to get back to where they were, and they're just bored of it, doing all that money every year and not getting back to where they want. Liverpool have waited 30 years to get back to where they are. Now where they've got there, the owner doesn't want to let it slip. Arsenal have just been on a steady decline year after year, and the American owners don't want to see them slip any further.
Tottenham have never fucking been there, and they're just trying to buy their way in.
Yeah, they're greedy. They just care about themselves. Not that they don't care about the fans. They don't like the fans. They don't like the legacy fans, as they now call them. What they want is all the people in Malaysia, China, all over. They want to have their subscriptions, exactly. And it a little kind of, obviously, we saw what happened with Ozil, and for the reasons why we think that he got shunned at Arsenal. One big factor is obviously what what we've heard about and what I believe as well is because he was outspoken in defending the Uyghur Muslims in China. China boycotted Arsenal, and suddenly you had like a market worth 1 billion people not watching Arsenal, and then next thing you know, Ozil's out. That is the owners. That is the owners worrying about the money, and getting rid of him. So that's just one part of their mindset. Our owner has not put £1 of his own money in to support the team. Obviously, I'm just talking from an Arsenal point of view here, but it's just disgraceful. I mean, in terms of the actual competition, like we said, it will just make those. I mean, it's not just the title race in a Premier League season. It's the battle for the Champions League. It's the battle for the Europa League. It's the battle to stay up. There's battles all over the league, and it will just destroy that side of it. It will be so. The game Liverpool Leeds will mean nothing. It just destroys the entertainment value completely. And
sorry to chime in, Dave, but before we go to before we let you end and go to Kyle, just want to throw out there, Ed Woodward's just resigned.
What, from Man United?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, what happens is happening. The thing is, these owners, they've done all this off their own back. All they care about is themselves. They don't care about football, and this is what needs to change. The government needs to come in. They need to make new laws. They need to make new specifications and rules you have to adhere to when you buy a football club. It's not just like you're coming along and buying any sort of retail business or that. It needs to be made clear that, okay, you're buying a football club. It's not just any business. It's not just one of your other franchises. It is. They need to treat it almost like a listed building. Like if you go and buy a listed building and that building is yours, you can't just go, oh, you know what? I'm going to rip the roof off. I'm going to slap an extension on the side. There's rules you have to adhere to because it's a building. It's a place of heritage and importance that when you buy it, it's yours, but you can't do what you want with it. And that is what is happening with football clubs. They need to be treated. They are historical institutions. They're important to so many generations of people. They go back hundreds of years. They need new legislation in place to say, when you buy this football club, this is allowed, that's not allowed, that's not allowed. And basically, they're the rules that you have to abide by. The other thing they should bring in is fan ownership. They should just change the law. The government's got the power to do that. Just say every club needs to have a 51% majority holding by fans. The other 49% can be owners. Therefore, the fans will always keep the main share of the decision making to stop shit like this happening. Because, like we said, not a single person wants this apart from these owners. And they
Dave, sorry to butt in on you again, but there's more now. So basically, he's
got his job back.
Yeah,
he's got his job back.
Now they're manager. No, I'm joking. So, Premier League duo Chelsea and Manchester City have apparently decided to pull out. It comes as we speak. There's been large protests outside Stamford Bridge before the game tonight. Peter Cech, who's actually a commercial director or technical director at Chelsea, and obviously Chelsea legend, was even spotted in the protest at the front, protesting against it. And apparently,
good for him.
This is according to TalkSport, according to their sources. The proposed European Super League is off. All of the clubs involved in the controversial plans are meeting now to disband the idea after Premier League duo Chelsea and Manchester City have pulled out of the competition. So, yeah, it's obviously this is all happening as we speak. So it's a bit of a
going back to like what you said though, Tel, your club is not involved in this, right?
Yeah.
Now, us coming back now, like, it's
got to be punished. Got to be.
I'm saying us, but it's like
it's the owner though. It's like the owners have got a hostage.
So it's the owners now that are fucked. They know they've fucked fucked right up.
They've
Right?
got to go. I don't think the club should be punished then for a bad decision made by shitty owners.
Well, they should because look, Leeds got punished for having shitty owners for
Yeah.
them running us into administration.
That's
You get
what
punished. You get a 10-point deduction, and then we got a 15-point deduction for going into administration at the wrong time. So
The
we
end of
got
the day,
punished for having shitty owners.
they're at the
What
helm.
should you free?
They're at the helm of your club. They are not Liverpool, but yet they are because they own it. So
We'd never have been in League One if we didn't get punished for what our owners done.
yeah,
Peter
we have to
Ramsdale
say,
made decisions which led to us going into the third division.
so now all them six are now going to come back with their tails between their legs. And then what? So now what's going to happen?
They have to be punished. They have to be.
Is they need to realise how close we've come to football being irreversibly destroyed. And some of the biggest clubs in the country's history just turn into these plastic non-clubs that just, you know what, if they went to that league, all the fan groups would basically start their own clubs again from the beginning. And then FIFA would probably back them up and strip the plastic clubs of all their honours and give them to the new startups. And then those clubs would have to start from the bottom and work their way through the leagues for the next 15 years or whatever.
Even in these 2 days, this is going to leave massive scars for years to come for every single club that has done this. These 6 clubs are going to feel the wrath of this, and they should do, because it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
We don't deserve fuck all.
Think when the fans are back.
I know, yeah.
Fate. Yeah. And the thing is, though, the fact, like we said, that the players and the managers, they don't deserve it. They found out when we found out.
They're going to get the brunt of it.
Yeah.
I don't think the players will. I don't think they will. I think people understand that it's not their fault. The players are even coming out now. Again, we're respecting Mill now. We're respecting all these players even just coming out and just speaking the truth, not giving no robotic, shitty PC answer. I tell them, I don't like it. I don't want it. It's not their fault. It's not their fault.
We need more of it. Like, we need more of it from the players, because we've
seen what happens. All of them.
When it goes sour with a manager, the manager always gets the boot, not the players, because the player is too expensive to overhaul a squad like that. So if every man come out and just start giving it,
they're breaching their contracts. Then if they do that, now I know that their morals should be higher than what this is, but you're asking them to breach a contract, which means that they are literally giving up their livelihood.
Yeah.
What else do they do? They are in such a weird position. They've got such a platform on one foot, but then if they go too far, they're actually out breaching their contract.
Yeah.
And they're out of a job.
But if they all come together, if they all come together, then there's nothing, regardless of whether you're breaching your contract or not. Surely that's
what I'm saying. If they all go together, there's too much money to fuck any of them. Or not at all. You know what I mean? If they all stood together,
I'm with you, but the club can then just, they wouldn't have to pay any of them out because they're breaching a contract, and then they could go and get new players. All right, they might not be as good.
Sorry, boys, I'm half in and half out here because I'm trying to read the news as it's happening and what's going on.
He's like Jim White over here. He's like Jim White.
I need to go and get me yellow tie on.
Get your tie on.
Transfer deadline.
Good mate, Farhad Shaqiri.
Over to Carve Solico. So Agnelli has now resigned from Juve, their owner. Apparently, there's immense pressure on Florentino Perez, who looks to be like he might be on his way out at Real as well. It almost seems like everyone here is panicking like fuck and just jumping ship.
Yeah, fucking Frankie from Arsenal's hanging on, I bet.
Well, yeah. Well, I've seen a few funny comments with someone saying guaranteed Spurs will be the last one to pull out so they can claim their first trophy in however many years. Which is a good touch. But yeah, another one that's just coming out as we speak. Barcelona have apparently said that they're not joining the Super League. It seems like it's all coming crashing down. Sorry, Carl. This has all sort of happened as we speak, and it's gone on before we sort of came to you for your opinion. So,
cuts.
The next sort of question that I'll have to come to you boys with, and we've half sort of hinted on it already, is what punishment, if at all, should be made to these 6 clubs? And I'll start with you, Kyle. Like, Do you think they should be punished? And if so, how?
I don't want them to be because obviously my
Cool.
club's involved, but
Bias aside.
side 100%. And you know what? It needs to be enough where you've got no. It's difficult to say, but where you've got no chance winning the league. 30 points, something silly like that. Like you can pretty still win it. The thing, I don't know. It's a tough
Still
one.
win it. Yeah.
Yeah, City they're going to win every game. Unlucky boys. I don't know. It's a tough one. I mean,
The thing is,
do you think it should be financial as well as?
yeah, but I was just about to say that, Tel. If you try and put a transfer embargo in, these clubs are still going to have money, and yet when that transfer embargo's over, you'll just do a Chelsea. You'll go and spend 200, 300 million.
I think they should be fined
points.
for. They should not get their. Maybe not, because I know clubs get like placement money. Like if you finish first, you get 180 million. If you finish fucking second, you get whatever. I don't think they should get that this year. So that's a large chunk of money they're not going to be getting. Maybe even take their TV money away for the season. Something big. I'm talking like hefty money where they go, fuck me. Yeah, we shouldn't have gone behind their backs.
Win them out of Europe as well.
Yeah.
If I was UEFA, I'll be like, you can fuck off next season. You've all got a year banned. I don't care what's happening. Money and banned from Europe, because now they're gonna be like, oh, I would kick United, City, and Chelsea out of the Europe this season now. Like, what? I wouldn't even let them win it. I wouldn't even. Oh, and Arsenal. Sorry, I forgot about it. Sorry. Yeah.
Well, that's
you need to go hard. But they should do it.
Well, I think Seferin, the UEFA guy, is going to do that. I think because he's pissed off. Like, so I think he will kick them out of this tournament. And I don't know whether that's
he did say to me that
wins or they replaced them with whoever they've knocked out. I don't know, but
he said that.
It's a frustrating thing for me, because if you look at it, Arsenal have been fucking toiling for the last few years, and they're potentially 3 games away from getting back in the Champions League. And it's like Villarreal, and they would be a challenge, but they're not the best team, and potentially play United. So you get through that, you're back in the Champions League, and then all this has happened. And
mental.
Could have ruined the best chance they've had for ages of getting back in there. And like you say, it's got to be something that hurts them. It has to hurt them.
Because otherwise, they just go back to the drawing board and come up with a new plan.
Yeah, the only thing that hurts them, what they care about, is their pockets. So whether you say each of you have got like a fat fine, you know what I mean? Like we're talking 100 million or something.
Hefty fine.
Needs to be paid within 2 years or some shit like that.
And don't give them an income. Don't give them an income, and then that hurt them more. No revenue or like
no fans. What about when everyone else is allowed fans again?
Yes, behind closed doors.
Then you're punishing the fans as well. You're punishing the fans again.
Yeah, again, I know what you're saying.
We're punishing the wrong people.
And the thing is, with these clubs of that stature, the gate money's nothing to them. It's a drop in the ocean. So they'd just be like, all right, we've done without fans for a year anyway. It's not a big deal.
You need to punish the people that were going to profit
TV money. Divide the TV money that those clubs would have got amongst the rest of the teams.
I totally agree with you, because then it will level it up as well. Like, but that's going into the summer, like all of a sudden clubs like Everton, Leeds, Villa can all of a sudden spend what them sort of clubs were and more. Yeah. And do you know what I mean?
And potentially they say, all right, in the Europa League final is between Villarreal and
Roma.
And Roma, and the Champions League final is the other
PSG against no one.
Yeah.
Well done, PSG. Pochettino, yeah, they should do it just for Poch. First season back, he wins the Champions League. But I think for me, it's got to be taken from the people that wanted to profit from this. The people that all made these big decisions, take it from their pockets. It's not fair to hurt the fans or the players anymore or anything like that, because it's not their doing. But hey, listen, hopefully, the news is broken. It ain't happening. Fucking brilliant. Salah.
This is
like you said, they should get away with it.
It's just mad.
This will be back on the cards in 3 years' time, unless they
will.
A lesson that they fucking won't forget. I want all of them. All those owners need to just be gone.
Or just resign.
The government needs to come in. The government needs to come in with new legislation and just fucking tear up all these rule books and just make it so that these cunts can't ever get in charge of English clubs ever again.
Yeah, but it's like the game's gone in such a stratosphere with the money and everything. You need these billionaires, and without the billionaires, you can't pay these players the money that they're on.
No. But if you look in Germany,
It's got to be a reset.
In Germany, they've got models where the clubs have fan ownership in a lot of those clubs, and then you've still got the billionaire owners control the rest of the club, but the club is primarily in the fans' hands to stop, and the decision making, they get like casting votes on shit like this.
Yeah, mate. And the thing is, the German model, Bayern Munich's still everyone's fucking players most of the time, but at the end of the day, they don't have, they wouldn't have this shit. And look at Bayern and Dortmund come out early doors and said, no, this ain't happening.
Yeah.
The other thing, Jonesy, back on Woodward, he's staying until the end of the season, which is when he leaves. So you've still got a few months left of him to fuck.
No, but that's what I'm saying. One down, get the Glazers out, and fucking mate, that'd be fucking blinding.
What's he ever done wrong for you, though?
The thing is, do you know what? It's in a way like he's done stuff for us that we don't even know about. But no, I'm not being funny. The image from the outside, the image from the fan is he's a wanker. He's a wanker. Fuck off. Hate him.
He's got every player that you've got lately. It's all been for him,
and they're all shit.
We might have wanted other players, or we might have wanted. You can't tell me we wanted Cavani last season. We didn't. Ollie ain't sitting there going, we'll take Cavani on a free. He was a fucking panic buy. Igalo. Yeah, we'll get Igalo on loan on the last minute. So no, Woodward's fucking had many failures. He's pretty, but
you'll
you know
get
what?
Mike Ashley in to replace him, and you'll get Joe Linton in the summer.
Oh, for 50 mil, we're fucking giving a profit on him and all. No, but no, listen, it's a win for football. If you know what I mean. But like we said, regardless of now, I said about the scars, it's going to scar these clubs, and so it should. And they still need to be punished, because at the end of the day, without the backlash, they had every intention of fucking off and doing their own thing. So.
And I totally agree. And the thing is, like you boys have mentioned, Dave said it's got to be a hefty monetary hit here for these clubs. And to be honest, I think a European ban for
1 season.
I don't think 1 season's enough. But you can swallow a season.
All right, 2 seasons. Then you're right.
I think it's got to be 2 years to sort of they go, fuck me. A year goes like that, mate. It flies by.
Yeah.
They have done that
in Europe anyway, so it won't bother us.
Didn't they do that to Spurs and Liverpool before?
Yeah.
They have banned us from.
Yeah, 2 years. It's got to be 2.
What about
1 year? If you finish outside the top 4 and top 6 anyway, you're like, oh, it's right. We'll go again next year anyway. Like 1 season, even players say they're like, all right, we'll have 1 season out of the thing, but 2 seasons, they're like, oh fuck.
Well, that's this. It. Say Bruno Fernandes, for example. You're going to say to him, sorry, mate, next 2 seasons, you ain't playing in the Champions League unless you leave and go somewhere else.
I don't think he'll leave. I think players will understand. They'll be like, we've been, it's bad ownership. Who are they going to go to? They're only going to be able to go to PSG, Bayern, and Dortmund.
Well, they'll go there, wouldn't they?
I don't know if people will. I don't think that would affect too much.
You've got your big teams coming up in the Prem now, and you're like your Leicesters and your West Hams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they start getting more money,
I'll tell you what, this is they've got to be punished, and it leaves the door wide open for the mighty Leeds to come swooping through and win everything.
I think it'd probably be fair then if they said,
wake him up for fuck's
sake. TV, all the TV money that they would earn for the year, dish it out between the other teams, kick them out of the competitions they're in now, and then ban them from Europe next year.
Yes.
2 years. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but if you're kicking them out now when they're in the final stages of it, that's even that's almost worse.
I mean, yeah, it'd be a kick in the bollocks for me, because I said, again, you're so close. But again, we don't deserve it. We as fans don't deserve it.
You fucking do.
None of us do. We don't want this shit. In all fairness, the fans are the ones that have saved this shit, because the protest they've done have fucking sorted.
Yeah.
I've sorted
And I
this
have to
shit
say,
out.
especially the fans of the six, the shameless six.
Yeah, Liverpool, Chelsea fans tonight. Fair play.
Because imagine if they backed it and those fans wanted it.
Fuck me.
Have a hand for Leeds. Cheers, Leeds.
If it weren't for us getting them shirts printed up, boys, I don't know. But yeah, look, boys, that's a bit of a strange podcast episode because it was like fucking deadline day. That all the shit.
I didn't even get the same bit. It went to Greg. Yes, it was coming to me and then breaking news before Jonesy comes on.
This just in.
In all fairness, I was just going to say the same as them anyway. To be fair, but yeah, he's fucking.
Honestly,
we all know what it is. It's an absolute fucking farce. It's an absolute joke, mate. Right, literally. I can't believe we're actually having to have the conversation.
No. Go on. Just back to what, about the conversation. Back to what DS said. That sort of an analogy of it, whatever, about listing of houses. It is perfect like that. You should not be able to ever think about breaking away from your domestic league. The Champions League is a luxury. That is your. That's what you work for. How can you? What's the point in winning if you can't lose?
Yeah.
But it's not
them games at the end of the season. Oh, Man United v Liverpool. We're sitting in 5th and 6th, or 4th and 5th. Whoever wins goes 4th and gets the Champions League. What's the point if you're both going to be playing in the fucking thing anyway? It's like the joy out of it.
It's like if you go down a pub, right, and you want to play pool, and it's like a little pool tournament, and at the end of the tournament, you win something, you win some money, or win like a keg of beer, and you're playing for that, and you go into the Super Pool League, and it's just us just playing as mates, just fucking around, on win or lose, doesn't really matter. It's what is the point?
No, you've lost me on that one. I like the list of the houses, but you fucking lost me on that one.
Do you know what? Do you know what gets me is it? So say like rich Englishmen went over to America and tried to fucking totally change baseball or the NFL. Fuck me. Can you imagine? Like, it just would never happen. Why are they coming over and trying to change English football?
It's just robbery, isn't it? They're trying to rob those clubs because of what the money they're worth. They're just trying to
generating the money. It's wrong. Like literally, the way they've gone about it.
I'm happy tonight. I'm not going to lie to you. With the league cancelled, Woodward gone, I've got to talk to a few of my pals. I'm happy. Cronenberg out, girls.
But again, our clubs are still tarnished, mate.
Yeah, they are.
But, and do you know what? But they deserve. Something's got to happen. They can't just go. No, they did pull out of it, so don't worry. Because otherwise, they're like you say, in a year's time, 2 years time, they didn't punish us then. We might as well fucking do it now or whatever.
Do you think
taking the piss?
If, say, all these owners were to get chopped and say you've got to sell the club, would then you take away the fact that it wasn't the club's fault, it was theirs fault?
I think that's a good shout. I think if all these people involved,
they should be forced to sell.
They should be forced. Yeah, if they do, I think you could probably get away with saying, you know what, no punishment. They fucked up.
That's fair.
But
they've got to leave.
Can you realistically force them to sell their property?
No, of course you can't.
Well, the government could get the government froze Roman Abramovich's assets, didn't they?
Yeah.
Stopped Stamford Bridge getting built when it was quite far along.
And the government are all over this as well. Boris has been having a go, hasn't he? So
I would be happy. At the end of the day, yes, we've won a title under their leadership, but the fact that they've done this. They should be out. They should be out because fucking we won the title, mate. Like,
totally 100%. Moving forward, how can you trust them sort of people to be making decisions for your club when they were going to make one like this? They were happy to make one like this. You can't, so they've got to go.
No, that's true. How can any club just carry on now with knowing that they're the owner? How can anyone?
No, the fans are back. They're going to get booed.
Calling them no. Where do you ever see any of these people? The only time that John W. Emery come to the fucking game is like when he first bought the club and he thought, I'll show everyone my trophy wife in the stand. Do you know what I mean? Apart from that, when I've never fucking seen him at the games. Your Glazers, when do you ever see them at the fucking game?
Well, Kyle don't go to the
Donkey.
games, so
Is
you
it-
wouldn't know.
I don't go. Greg. Sky cameras never fucking go on them. Even if they are there.
Conke, I mean, no one knows who he is, do they?
No,
No.
it's an alter ego.
This is what I mean.
There's like one image of him at a game about fucking 6 years ago. Like the only one.
He's like Kisa Soze, mate. He's not a real person.
These people don't come to the games. They don't care about the club really. They just care about the financial state.
Well, look, boys, we've sort of gone on about it and that. So let's
Yeah.
we'll bring the episode to a close, and I want to go and watch the Sky Sports News anyway. Yeah,
Cheers,
we'll
boys.
sort of it was a fucking mental episode, like I said, considering all the news coming out as we sort of record it. But yeah, so I just want to leave the podcast with just a quote from God himself, Marcelo Bielsa, on the European Super League. And I know you're cringing, Jonesy, but
Is it in Spanish?
Yeah, what's it?
Translator's coming out.
But yeah,
Gil's gonna come in.
he puts it perfectly, and I just thought it's the right time to read it out, considering this has all come to an end. So he says, the most powerful are powerful for what they produce, but the rest are indispensable. And what makes competition great is the possibility for one of those weak teams to develop, not the big teams playing each other, but the logic in the world at the moment, and football is not outside of this, is that the rich become richer and the rest just get poorer. And he's spot on. So I thought I'd just read that before we end the episode, boys. And
Lovely, Bielsa.
yeah, hopefully this will be the end of this Super League, and we can sort of see what happens now with these sides. But yeah, thanks for joining us, guys, and thanks for everyone watching on the YouTube channel. Make sure you slap a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. We've got some brilliant interviews coming up as well as our usual weekly podcast. Can't say too much yet, but we've got some crackers coming up, lads. And yeah, everyone on listening on the podcast platforms, make sure you rate and review, and pass the pod on to any mates of yours who'd be interested, basically. Try and get it out there and get as many people listening and watching as we can. Also head over to our Twitter and Instagram pages at only_footy_fans. And we've also now got a Facebook page. Just type in Only Football Fans Podcast and it comes up. It's a Facebook page. You can sort of follow everything on there, which has just started today. But yeah, until next time, guys. Thanks. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.